plan. All
Sure.
right, guys, so we need to talk about our final exam. So I'm just going to share my screen to get started. There's a lot of information that people will have to read themselves when they get a moment, because I'm not going to read through all of it, but I just want to bring a little bit to your attention and just focus on a couple of things. So I'm just going to scroll down. So there's a new section that's been put up on iLearn, okay? And it's really important that people read this. So it says here, this section contains all the relevant information and assessment activities. For semester 1, 2020, you'll find the information below on the nature and timing of your exam period assessments, okay? Again, like all exams at Macquarie, we're going to have a fit to sit model, okay? And one thing that's really important is academic integrity. So if we become aware of any situations where people are sharing answers or stuff like that, and it's pretty easy to find, that obviously will be something that will have to be taken up with the misconduct group within the faculty, okay? The way it's set up is that each question will be marked by the same person, so they will be able to identify if there's been any collusion or anything like that, and we will take that seriously. You must refrain from communicating with any way with another student, because again, that's going to be misconduct. You're not permitted to record or capture in any way the examination material. We recommend that all alarms, notifications and alerts on watches be switched off. You should have a quiet place to complete the activity during the allotted time, and it should be plugged into power. And you may need to have some sort of phone as a backup for hotspot or a tether. And we suggest that you use Google Chrome for your exam, okay? And if you click on there, it says here, see here for the suggested IT requirements. And they've given you some there, and then they've given you some technical support as well, which should be quite useful. But if I look at this, Windows 10 or Mac 10.14, we're up to max up to 10.15. So most people should have the minimum required, okay? So that's that, okay? If we go back here, the exam's going to be Wednesday, the 10th of June. Now, the duration of the exam is going to be 2 hours and 10 minutes. Now, there's going to be an additional 30 minutes available to students to cover any technical issues the students may encounter. As it says here, you should avoid using these extra time to answer exam questions or start the exam later than 9 o'clock, because what's going to happen at 11:40, it's going to be a hard cutoff. So if you haven't saved your work by then, there could be some issues, okay? So you must make sure that everything is finished by 11:40, okay? So the exam is going to be made up of 15 questions comprising calculations, multiple choice, short answer. The total for the exam is 100 marks, and it's going to count for 60% of the course total. Within each question, there's going to be multiple different versions, okay? And I'm not talking about one or two, I'm talking about many, many. And what's happened is the tutors and the Veronica and myself and some other people have been spending a long, long time writing multiple versions of the exam, so many different versions, okay? So just be aware of that. And so while you might look at a question and think, oh, my friend told me about this, I'm sure the answer is that because that's what their answer was. While they might look the same in some circumstances, they are very different, okay? And I think Veronica can back that up, given the amount of work that we had to do.
Definitely.
The exam is to be completed online via the iLearn site. The link will be available from 9 a.m. and closed at 11:40. This is an online open book exam, and this means you are not required to be on campus. You should access the exam at the stated exam start time. No additional time will be given if you start late, okay? Any open attempt will be submitted automatically at 11:40 and you'll only be given one attempt. No extensions will be granted, and students who have not submitted the task prior to the deadline will be awarded a mark of 0. So you don't want to think, oh, I've got 2 hours and 40, because you may have not submitted in time. Okay. Of course, the usual situation around special consideration applies. You should complete the exam yourself and should not solicit assistance from any other party. If it's alleged that you have breached the academic integrity policy at any time during the exam, the matter will be reported to the Macquarie Business School or University Discipline Committee for determination as appropriate. And in the past, what's happened, students have just received a 0. Okay, so that's happened in the past. Although it's an open book exam, it is your own work. So you can't copy from a textbook, course notes, internet sources. We also reserve the right to interview students regarding the exam answers and knowledge of the unit to affirm the integrity of the exams. Now, our people who we've got marking, as Veronica will tell you, they've been marking with us for possibly about 10 years. And they're very, very good, and they will pick up if students are all using the same answer. They will pick that up straight away if there's any copying. And it's not uncommon. We've had situations where, 100 students have been referred to the disciplinary review committee. Okay. If you encounter any issues during the exam, you can email myself or Veronica immediately, including your student number, full name, what the unit code is, because there's more than one exam, and your contact number. Before commencement of the exam, ensure that you have checked your internet connectivity. The final exam link, like we said, will appear at 9 o'clock, and either use Firefox or Chrome. During the exam, now this is really, really important. While in the exam, do not use the browser back or forward buttons. These are the ones up here. Okay. Once you begin your attempt, you will see the timer begin in the top right-hand corner, and you use the next button at the base of the screen to save and move to the next page of questions. Okay. Clicking save and review on the final page will take you to a summary screen, which indicates the questions you have answered. If you've missed any questions, you can click on return to attempt. I believe you can also flag questions where you want to come back to them. When you are happy that all questions have been answered, you can click submit all and the finish button at the base of the summary screen. However, you will not be able to go back to edit your answer to the questions after submission. Okay. There is a separate document here, guys. If you click on that link there, and it just goes through a few things about how to undertake the exam. Okay. Now, what we've done to make it a little bit easier for you, we have, and I'm not going to go through these, people can go through these at their own pace. What we've done, as you may be well aware, if we come down here, we created a mock exam. Okay, it's in 2 places. It's based on the 2019 semester 2 exam. It's been prepared so that you can get a feel of what an online exam will be like. And there's, like with everything, there is no guarantee that the questions will be the same or different this semester. So when you go into your exam, you'll be asked to preview the quiz now, and then you'll be asked to start your attempt. Okay. Each exam, question 1, will always be fit to sit. Are you medically able to sit the exam? If you are, you press A, and if not, you press B, and you have to apply for special consideration. Okay. We then move on. You can move on, obviously, to the next page. Now, let me show you something. Okay. This one here is determining the EAR for the debt that matures in 15 years' time. So it's asking for a percentage, okay? If you put 5% in here, 5% in here, I'm just making these numbers up, as you can appreciate. It's not very scientific what I'm doing, but this one asks you to write some stuff, and then there's a couple more. I'm just going to fill these in, okay. And then if you press next page, you can go to the next page, okay. But if I come back here and I put in 5%, okay, and then I go to the bottom and press next page, see how it's put a highlight there? See how it's put a little arrow there? That means that there's a problem with this question, because you've got to read clearly what we're expecting in terms of format, okay? What you find is that for these iLearn quizzes, see it's got a percentage there? That means that you don't need to put it in there. It doesn't recognize symbols like this. So you don't put percentages in, you don't put dollar signs in, you don't put commas in, because it basically doesn't recognize those as answers. It's looking for, in these cases, it's looking for numbers, okay? It's looking for numbers. So that's a really important thing. And then you're going to move on to the next page, okay? Now, and then obviously you can have a practice and try this exam, but this is basically to give you a bit of a feeling as to what the exam is going to look like, okay? As to what the exam is going to look like. Now, before we go on to anything else, does anyone have any questions on what we have discussed so far? Okay, does anyone have any questions on what we've discussed so far? You can either send a chat or you can just talk. Renee,
Hello?
you've put your hand, just wait a second. Renee, you've put your hand up. Do you have a question?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what question have you got?
I was just wondering what's going to happen with working out.
Okay, so you will be asked to just, we've structured the exam, so you'll be just asked to put in a final answer, okay?
I also have another one.
Yeah.
Is that correct from previous expression? So will it carry forward or will it
No,
not?
it won't. There's no carry forward, okay? There's no carry forward. So each question will be independent in its own view, okay? So in the past, you might have had carry forward errors. What we've done is to alleviate that. Just say question one asked you to work out the cost of debt, the cost of equity, and the cost of preference shares. Question two might give you new information and ask you to work out the weights of a scenario, which are both related to the cost of capital, but the questions are independent from each other, okay? So you don't have to worry about carry forward, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, who else had a question? Someone else had a question.
There's one on the chat here from
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where is that? What, can I see that? Sorry, I'm struggling with the technology as usual. Oh yeah, okay, there's a chat question here. Let's have a look what it says. It says, if we answer for something was 5%, do we write it as 0.05 or just 5? It is going to depend on what the question asks you. So if the question says answer to as a decimal, you would write it at 0.05. But if it had a percentage like these ones do, you would have to write 5%, because if you wrote 0.05%, that would be 5/100ths of 1%, right? Okay, so if the question was, if the answer was 5%, you would write that, and it says there 5%, right? But if you were to write 0.05, that's saying 0.05%, that's not correct, okay? That's not correct. So you've got to see what we're asking for quite clearly, and that will be labeled, okay? Does that make sense? Okay, perfect. All right, any other questions, guys, before we go
Yeah.
on?
Hello?
Yep.
I was gonna ask about how many times can we do the mock exam? Like, can we do the mock exam like multiple times, or is
I
it just
think that question was asked in the discussion forum. You can do it unlimited.
thank you very much.
Okay, great. Any other? Do we just the mock exam question is too wide on my screen. I don't know how to fix that. I'm not a. What happens? What if my computer crashes during the exam? It happens before. Well, I suppose what the issue there is that you've got to make sure that you've got some evidence of that, Richard, or maybe consider where you're going to study, where you're going to sit the exam. Okay, maybe consider, is there an alternative location? I've used these exams a lot for my other subjects. So I haven't had a problem with crashing. Okay, I've used it quite extensively, and we've had some pretty high-level finance exams that we've run on these, so you shouldn't have a problem with crashing. Okay. The last question was, what weeks will be tested? We'll get to that in a minute. Do we need to open the camera during the exam? I don't know that. I'll have to find that out. Okay, I'll have to find that out, what they're doing from vigilation there, how they're doing it. But it's open book, so it's probably not going to be a case where you have to open the camera, but you'll be told, okay, because it is open book. So you'll be able to just base it on that. Okay, does anyone else have any other questions? So on the exam, on each page, there will be a save and next button, right? Yeah, it'll say at the bottom, it'll be something like that. It'll say next page or save and next, depending on the way they set it up. Okay. Yeah, so that's what's going to happen. Okay.
And I might just add there, Damien, too, that it will automatically be saved at 11:40. So whatever is open at that point is going to be automatically saved.
I'm not so sure about that because they want them to save it before 11:40.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's a bit of a change.
Mhm.
Okay. So they want to make sure they finish by 11:40.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's a good point. No, they've changed it for some reason. Okay. All right. So let's talk about what is going to be on the exam. So I'm going to open a Word document, I think, so that you can see what we are writing. Okay. And I'm just going to bring it across. Let me just fix that. I'll stop that shared there. And I will minimize that. Don't you love technology? I'm so happy we're doing this. All right, so I'm going to share it again. Veronica, feel free to butt in at any time that you want to give us your. All right, so the final exam. Be good if I could type, wouldn't it? The final exam, like I said, aim to do it in 2 hours and 10 minutes. Okay, don't think, oh, I've got 2 hours 40, therefore I can take my time. You'll find that it'll creep up on you. Okay, so there's going to be 15 questions, and they are going to be a combination of short answer, calculations, calculations, and multiple choice. Okay, so they're our options that we have there. Okay, now in terms of the questions, what's going to be covered? Okay, I'll just come to that. Oops, am I still sharing? Yeah. All right, so in terms of what the exam is going to cover, okay, I just need to drag this back, sorry. All right, I'm just playing with screens at the moment, guys. So question 1, okay, is the first question. Now, let me just bring up some bits and pieces. I need to go over here for that. I need to, okay. All right, so question 1 okay, is going to relate to risk and return, okay? So that's going to relate to risk and return. And we studied that as part of topic 1, okay? So topic 1, that question there will be all calculations, okay? Question 2, let me just open it. Question 2 is, is also going to relate to risk and return, okay? So that again is going to be topic 1, and it's going to be all calculations, okay? Question 3, okay, let me just bring that up. Question 3 is going to relate to risk and return. Same one. Now, I'm going to go back and give you a bit. It seems like, oh my goodness, there's so much on risk and return. It doesn't really work like that, okay? So question 3 is only worth 3 marks, okay? And we've done that like this, having probably a lot more questions than we would have had in the past to avoid carry forward errors, okay? So this one's going to be 6 marks. And then question 1 is going to be 4 marks, okay? So in the past, if we had have had a normal exam on campus, we might have just had one 13 or 15 mark question, okay? But we've had to do this way to get around the carry forward errors. Is there anything you can add there, Veronica, or not really? I think we're pretty good.
Yeah, yes.
We're pretty good there. There's nothing.
You're doing a good job.
All right, so question 4. Okay, question 4. Now this is a kind of a bit of a mixed question. How would you describe question 4, Veronica?
Okay,
do you have it in front of you?
No, I don't have it in front of me. So, sorry, Damien. Do you?
Oh, you didn't open it? Yeah, do you want to... so I'd say it's mainly... I'm going to call it risk and return again, okay? But it also includes... I can be a bit more specific here, and it includes expected returns, okay? So you're going to have to know both the CAPM, the dividend discount model, and there's a couple of other questions on risk and return as well, okay? So it's it's risk and return plus expected returns. I think that's probably the best way of describing that. And that's a pretty important topic. We spend a lot of time on that, and that's going to be 10 marks, okay? Now, in terms of these questions, some of them we've done in lectures and some we did in tutorials, okay? I know for a fact that there's, in some of these questions, there's stuff we specifically spoke about in the lectures, okay? So you can't just rely on the tutorials. You're going to have to make sure you study the lectures yourself as well, okay? Okay, so the next question, seems like we've been talking about risk and return quite a bit, doesn't it? Question 5, but having said that, risk and return is probably one of the most important things you do in finance because it's basically why we invest, okay? why we invest, why we have superannuation funds, what it means when you go and buy a superannuation fund and you ask for high risk, low risk, balance funds, all those sort of things, okay? So the next thing we're going to be looking at is the cost of capital, okay? That's our next topic. Now, that was studied in, let me just see what day we did that one, what topic that was. I think it was topic 4, okay? So that's topic 4, okay? And again, that's going to be, you know what I forgot to do? Wait a second, I forgot to do something. That'd be unlike me, wouldn't it? Question 3, no. Question, what did I do with question 4? Let me just find it, guys. Question 4. Question 4 is, I should have put this in, is both calculations, okay, and there is multiple choice there as well. Now, multiple choice questions, they might have a situation where they're either a choice of 2, 3, or 4 different answers, okay? So they're kind of a bit jumbled that way. Okay, so some you might have a chance of 2, others you might have a chance of 4 or 3, okay? So question 5, we'll go back to that. Question 5, I've got so many tabs open, I cannot find anything. So question 5, where is it?
So
what do I do with it?
capital.
Sorry?
Cost of capital for question
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, question 5, cost of capital. And that is going to be all calculations, okay? So that's all calculations. Now, when we talk about cost of capital, we're talking about those topics that we did when we talked about the weighted average cost of capital, okay? So it's all calculations, and this question is going to be worth 11 marks, okay? Again, it's another important question. In the past, we might have had a situation where we had a big question on capital budgeting. We don't have a question on capital budgeting this time because you did the assignment in that topic, okay? Question 6, okay? Question 6 is going to be
Cost of capital again. Cost of capital, 5 marks for that one.
Yep. So is it all? I'm just. Oh yeah. Okay. So yes. So question 6. I was just checking. Sorry. Question 6. You've got it open now, do you?
Yeah,
Cost
I just.
of capital, and again, it's going to be topic 4, and it's all calculations. This one, isn't it?
Yeah.
All
Actually, no. It's calculation and theory. A written answer.
No, we took that out. We took that out. Remember?
Okay. Yeah.
Remember we updated? Sorry. No.
No.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
we took that out because that's later on.
Mm-hmm.
And how many marks is that? That's now 3 marks.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, we changed that at one stage, so that's okay. Yeah. Question 7. Question 7 is worth 8 marks. So let's have a look what this one is about. So question 7, the topic that we're looking at in question 7 is going to be evaluating project economics and capital rationing. Okay, so that's evaluating, is that how you describe it, Veronica? Project economics. Yep, sorry, go on.
Is there trade finance in that one as well?
Let me have a look. Because we moved some stuff around and I had to move some stuff. So so let me just have a quick look on that. So Yes, good point. So there's evaluating project economics and capital rationing. Okay, so that section there has 3 marks, and then we have trade finance, and that has 3 marks. And then we also have another question there, don't we? And that is related to topic 1, okay? And that has 2 marks, okay? So what we talked about early in topic 1, okay? But it's not risk and return, it's the introductory stuff, okay? So I'm just going to put that intro, okay? So all up, there's 8 marks for that question, okay? So there's 8 marks, and I should say that there's calculations and, be good if I could spell, and multiple choice, okay? Did I spell calculations? Yeah, it is. And multiple choice, that's not how you spell choice. And multiple choice, okay? So that's got a lot of different things happening in that question 7, okay? Question 8, okay? I'll just find my form again. So question 8 had a lot of different versions, if I'm not mistaken. So let's have a look. Okay, so question 8 is going to cover derivatives, okay? And that is week. Derivatives is topic
10.
Topic 10, week 10.
I believe.
Yes. Yes. Topic 10. Okay. Let me just have a look. So there's going to be calculations and so this one's an interesting one, isn't it? There's going to be calculations, multiple choice. How would you describe the last question on that one, Veronica? Would you call that multiple choice? Because it's just going to be a choice of 2.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll leave it like that. And that's going to be worth 15 marks. Okay. Question 9 is going to be on question 9. I've got to open my password each time. Question 9 is going to be a little bit of an interesting one. It's going to be on capital. I think it's on a few different things. Capital structure policy, and that was topic 6. Okay. It's also it's also going to be on working capital management.
Yeah, working capital. Yep.
Working capital management, and that was week something, wasn't it? That was topic. That was topic 5. Yeah, topic 5. Topic 5. Management. During the break, I'm going to learn how to spell. That's what I'm going to try to do during our mid-semester because I'm really struggling today. So that's topic 5. What else have we got there? So that is going to be a combination. That's going to be a combination of calculations, and I'd say you'd call that multiple choice. You might have to choose from 2 options or something like that, okay? And that's going to be, so the first part of it, which is the capital structure, 2, 4, that's going to be worth 4 marks. Okay, oops. That's going to be worth 4 marks. And the working capital management is going to be 2, 4, 8. Okay. 8 marks. 8 marks. And so overall, it's 12 marks overall. Okay. There's a couple of questions. We'll get to them at the end. So let's just finish this, and then we'll look at those questions that I can see a few people have made some comments. So we'll wait to the end. Question 10 is going to be on international finance. So that's international finance, and that's going to be topic 11. Okay. And that's going to be multiple choice and calculations. Okay. Oops. So multiple choice and calculations, and that question is worth 8 marks. All right, so questions 11 to 15 are all going to be written questions, okay? So question 11, let me see what we can say about question 11.
Trade finance.
Are they all?
Yep, trade finance.
Okay, so trade finance. They're all, so that was, what was trade finance? That was topic 12. And that's going to be a written answer. And that's going to be worth 4 marks. Okay. Now, something important here for the written answers, 40 words maximum. Okay. If you write more than 30, it won't, 40, it won't be read. Okay. So the idea there is you can write succinctly, and that's going to be a case where if you just copy and paste from the internet, we'll find that out pretty quickly that it's not your work. Okay. Question 12. Oops, that's red. Let me change that back. So all those questions 11 to 15 are going to be all written answers. Okay. So question 12. What was that one on? Question 12. When did we look at that topic, Veronica? I'll just have a look.
Well, it's got a few different topics in this one.
Oh, does it? Does it? So what are they? It's got...
okay, so we have risk and return, or it could be cost of capital, or...
Cost of capital.
Yeah, so it could be...
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So it's got risk and return. It could be a cost of capital question, or it could be a... What was that other topic? Remember that other topic? Topic 7. What's that one? A business valuation, right? We covered some of that in business valuation
Yeah.
and forecasting.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a mixed bag, that one, guys. So I can't tell you what your question is going to be, but it's going to be one of those, okay? Written, and again, I believe it's 4 marks, okay? Question 13 is, oops, question 13. Question 13,
Capital budgeting, that one.
oh yeah, capital budgeting. That's an easy one. What topic was that, Veronica? Topic
That was week 3. Yeah.
week 3?
Or week 2. No, week 2.
Yeah, no, it's week 2. It's topic
Yeah.
2, yeah. Capital budgeting. This is going to be topic 2. It's going to be written, and it's going to be 4 marks. Question 14 is going to be
Payout policy.
yeah. So, so what did we call that
The
topic?
dividend policy.
We called
That's
that
topic
8.
Yeah.
Dividends and dividend policy.
Mm-hmm.
Dividend policy. Oops. So it's going to be topic 8. It's going to be written, and it's going to be 4 marks as well. Okay. And then the last question. The last question is going to be
International finance.
okay. So the international finance, mine didn't open there. So question 15 is going to be international. Whoops. International finance, and that is going to be topic 11.
11. Yep.
11, and that's going to be written, and that's going to be worth 4 marks. Okay, so this one here, like I said, was this idea that there's 40 marks, 40 words maximum. Okay, so, and that's going to apply to all of these questions. Okay, so if you're going to write War and Peace, it's not going to get answered. You're going to be rewarded for writing a brief, to the point. And I think Veronica will agree with me. Most of these questions can be answered in 1 sentence. Okay, these written. You don't have to write 40 words. That's like the maximum. Most people could write them in a sentence, I would dare say. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of stuff there for you. Okay, so we've gone through quite a bit there. So let's have a look, and there's a few questions that have come through. Let's start at the top. Do we need to open? All right. So on the exam, is it fine if we don't save? It'll be automatically saved and submitted when time expires. Am I right? Just like in our tutorial questions, so that we don't have to focus on minding the time. No, I've been told that you must save it before the time. Okay, that's what Angela Chow told me. So, and she's organising all these, and that's what she has told me to tell you guys, that you must try to save it before the time expires. Okay. So Nok Khan, Hu Yen Nguyen has said, will there be several parts in question 1? Well, there's effectively there's effectively parts in every question. So if I'm looking at question 1, it might be part A, part B. Okay, so each question has subparts. The one exception to that, I don't believe question 3 has any subparts, and questions 11 to 15 don't have subparts. Okay, it's just one question. Okay. Okay, so Muskan Gupta, I actually answered that question already. Okay, it depends on what the question's asking. If there's a percentage sign there and the answer's 5%, you just put a 5 in. If you put 0.05, that'd be wrong. What topic is question 7? Well, what topic is question 7? I've said that it is evaluating project economics and capital rationing. It's not too hard to find, because it says here evaluating project economics and capital rationing. So it's obviously going to be topic 3. Okay. What else do we have here? What other questions did we say that we had? Where was those questions? Topic 3, Andrea, thanks for answering that one. Question 11 to 15 will have the same word limit. What about topic 9? Well, topic 9, that is covered in, where did I say that was? I thought I wrote that down, didn't I? I thought I wrote it down, but now I'm second. Oh, there it is. It's question 12 covers risk and return. Okay, so there's going to be many different options here. So that's topic 1. Okay, oops.
Damien, can you share your document again, please?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I will.
Thank you.
Because I know everyone wants to see me do typos. So this one is going to be, I've just lost it. Where am I? Okay. Am I having, oh yeah, topic 12, question 12 is going to cover, so you could have one of many different versions. So some people will get a question on topic 1, which is risk and return. Some people might get a question on cost of capital there. And cost of capital, Veronica, what topic is that again? Topic 4. Yep. And some people might get a question on business valuation and forecasting. Oops. Business valuation and forecast. What topic is that? Does anyone remember?
Topic? Oh, sorry.
No.
9.
Is it 9? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so that's covered. That's covered as well. What did I do with those? Okay, let me just find those chats. Question 11 to 15 are the same word limit. What about topic 9? That's covered. It says, thanks, that's a very teeny one. Well, you might get a 4-mark question on topic 9, so I wouldn't ignore it. I think you have to cover every question. And then this last one, Veronica, says, for the theory questions, do we just need to focus on the subtopics which are under the topic on the slide? Or, well, it's based on what's in the slides, would you say?
Yeah, and what we've done in the tutorials.
Yeah, so, so that's kind of the...
Yeah. So you don't really need to read aspects of the chapter that we haven't covered in the lecture or the tutorials.
That's right. That's right. So everything we've done is either going to be lectures or tutorials. So it's not just tutorials. It's not just lecture. It's going to be a combination of both. In terms of doing some practice questions, don't forget, I'm going to stop sharing this for a second, and I'm going to share my, I'm going to share, what do I do with it? I'm going to share, I'm just looking for iLearn, sorry. Let me just bring it up. Okay, I'm going to share, I'll do it again, didn't work. All right, I'll do that again. So I'm just going to share that again. Is that it? Yeah. So don't forget, in terms of, we've got all these practice questions down the bottom here. You can see past exam papers and solutions, okay? So you can get some practice questions and solutions there as well, and that's obviously a good place to start. But like I said, there's no guarantee that the questions are the same, or there's no guarantee that the questions are different, okay? So that's just the way that operates, okay? All right, so does anyone else have any more questions? No, no more questions. Any more other comments from people, or do you have anything else to add, Veronica, before we go?
Well, I think based on the screen that you're sharing here now too, so that practice exam is based on semester 2, 2019. So you can check your own answers for that as well.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And just remember, there's an additional quiz next week, okay? I know some people are saying, you know, other groups got more quizzes, but, you know, both groups have had some problems as the semester's gone on. It's been a bit of a learning curve, but the thing is, everyone's given this opportunity to get an extra topic, and I think it's fair to say that it all evens out in the long run. It's only 2.5%, so it kind of all evens out in the long run, given everything that's happening. And I think people should probably just focus on worrying about their marks, not worrying about others. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at the moment. Is there anything else to add?
Yeah, I can see Muskan's just asked another question. So till when will the practice test be open? So we're just going to leave that open now, aren't we?
Forever, yep. And where is the topic 12 tutorial questions? All right, so let's go and have a look at that. I know what you're asking there, so let me change my share, and I'm now sharing this one. If I look at topic 12, topic 12 is on trade finance, is that right?
Yep.
So topic 12 is on trade finance. So topic 12, we've got our video.
There you are.
There's the book, and the questions will be in there, okay? So they're there for you, okay? Any other?
Okay, so Renee has another question here.
Yep, what was that? I'll just...
if you have a question that asks for 2 decimal places and it's a whole number, do we write 0.00 at the end of it or leave it as a whole number?
The exam will tell you that specifically what's expected, okay?
So I would be doing that, yes. I would be, if it is a whole number, I'd still be doing 0.00 in that case.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, and the questions are pretty clear as to what they're after, Renee, so don't worry too much about. Hopefully that's clear. I like your background. Any other questions, guys? All right, so if there's no, all right, it says, I know we only have one attempt, but if we actually leave the exam page before answering all the questions, can we return to the exam? Now, what usually happens is that if you get thrown out or something like that in the exam, you can go back into where you were. Okay, you can go back into where you were. As long as it's before 11:40, that's what normally happens.
Yeah, and can I just add to that as well? So, Andrea, you can navigate. So, when Damien was showing you the practice exam, you can navigate forwards or backwards using that navigation pane.
Yeah, so let me just, let me go to that.
Yeah.
Let me just start that again. Continue last preview. So let me just share on that one. Yes, that's why we put up this practice exam. So you can, you know, if you want to, you can go and you can go across to this question here if you want to. And what you can also do, see question 30, you might be thinking, if the above rates were offered, would you be best to initially borrow AUD, and you think, oh, I can't think of that now. You can actually flag it and see, once you flag the question, it puts a little red mark so you know to come back to it. Okay, so you can do all those sort of things, and then you can go to question 35 if you want, whatever you want to do. Okay, so there's plenty of flexibility there. Okay, I don't know what the other subjects are doing, whether they're having, I suppose most of them are having online exams. Are they? I don't know.
I think so.
I think so. The guy who's setting up ours, he's been setting up exams for me for about 10 years, and he's really good. So I think it'll be pretty clear and to the point. Okay. All right. Any other questions, guys? If there's no other questions, we'll leave it there. Okay. And we will see you. Well, you'll be in the exam before too long. That's only next week and a bit, isn't it? So, well, good luck, guys. If you've got any questions, you can either go to the tutor consultation or you can post a discussion, which has been a really effective way of communicating questions as well, and the tutors will answer it for you. Okay. So no other questions? All right, guys, good luck. And let's hope we don't see you next semester.
Thanks,
all right, guys.
everyone. Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.